Hello everyone. As we continue through this month of Elul, I thought I'd deal with a question that is practical if you're traveling, or God forbid you're sick and you can't make it to shul. You have to make up that shofar blowing of Elul. Namely, is shofar blowing in Elul a congregational obligation, like Moshe is laning, not your personal one? Or is it a personal obligation, such as Megillah reading, where we always try to do it with a minyan, but if not, you are personally obligated to read Megillah? Well, it's interesting where this question comes up. The Ramah paskins that we do not blow shofar on Erev Rosh Hashanah. Adds the Magen Avraham the following caveat to that halacha. Umikol makom beveito mutkar litkoa lehitlamed. Dedai kishemafsik beveit hakneset. Actually, this is only in shul, but at home, if you want to practice for shofar blowing of Rosh Hashanah, you can do so even on Erev Rosh Hashanah. It's good enough that we stop in shul. Based on that, Rav Tzvi Pesach Frank, the chief rabbi of Yerushalayim, quoted by the Tzitz Eliezer in his responsum, who says that even an individual is obligated in shofar blowing of Elul. After all, the Magen Avraham had to put in that caveat. Why would he put in that caveat if you never blew shofar at home? From here you could deduce that indeed the Magen Avraham said that the shofar blowing in shul doesn't happen, but the one at home can continue to happen because it's good enough that they stop in shul. In a word, if the person at home was never blowing shofar, why would the Magen Avraham put it in? He obviously put it in because the person at home is blowing shofar, and therefore he had to say that it's okay. But if he was never blowing shofar in the first place, then obviously he wouldn't bother to mention it. The Tzitz Eliezer, though quoting him beautifully and with great respect, says he doesn't agree for 4 reasons. Number 1, we've never heard of such a thing. We never heard of instructing every individual in the month of Elul to blow shofar at home, and therefore it's probably the best proof that indeed it's only a congregational thing to do in a minyan and not at home. Number 2, the reason we started blowing shofar is because Moshe Rabbeinu went up to the mountain on Rosh Chodesh Elul, and Eviru Shofar B'Machaneh. They blew shofar in the encampment, namely in front of the whole congregation. Not every individual blew shofar. Number 3, if indeed the reason for blowing shofar, as we said, is to remind people to do tshuva, well, it's based on a pasuk. A pasuk from the Navi Yoel, that when you blow shofar, it's inconceivable that the people won't be stirred to do tshuva. Well, as you could see, it says in the city, not blew shofar personally. Im yitaka shofar ba'ir, namely only when it's done with a lot of people around do you have that stir, not when you do it at home. And finally, he says, I can prove from that Magen Avraham exactly the opposite. Namely, the Magen Avraham is saying that if you blow shofar at home, it's not a problem because you never were obligated in the first place to blow shofar at home during Elul. And therefore, if you happen to blow on Erev Rosh Hashanah, it's no problem. The only problem is in shul, where they did blow shofar for the last 28 days minus Shabbos. And therefore there and only there is there a problem. Because if indeed you blew shofar at home, why would there be a special heter to continue on Erev Rosh Hashanah in order to practice? It would make no sense. From here, he says, it must mean that at home it was never done. And the Magen Avraham just states the point that if you decide to blow shofar at home, it has no meaning in the month of Elul, and therefore you can continue doing it on Erev Rosh Hashanah because it's fine. Well, that's their machlokes. Tzitz Eliezer says it's not an individual obligation, And Rav Tzvi Pesach Frank felt it was.
מקשיב לכל תקיעותינו וסקבל ברחמים ברחמים וברצון וסקבל